Welcome to the Executives for Success FastCast. My name is Doug Gibson. Each week I talk to a business owner or key executive to learn more about their business and the factors that have influenced their success. My guest today is Justin Henry from Zander Homes. Justin,
Doug,
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a guest.
Yep.
Tell us about Zander Homes.
We're a small custom home builder here in Houston, based out of Houston. We build all over, if you will. We trademarked "We Build Where You Live," and so we've built all the way from Livingston to Friendswood and in between. Most of our building probably happens inside a loop. We end up doing lots of homes in the flood zones and different things of that nature, but we've done townhomes and a million different things, it seems like.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I imagine you kind of evolve
Yeah.
and go where business is,
Yeah.
right? Wherever the opportunity is.
Yeah.
I think you talked about when we had a chance to visit before, your diversity of building. You've built, condos real close to each other, and then you kind of pivoted more to single family homes and at various sizes.
Yeah, when we first started out, we did some remodeling, and then we were downtown infill building. So we're taking a lot or a property and putting the 1940s house in the dumpster and building, whether it be shotgun townhomes that you see all over the Heights or even 3 and 4 stories now that you see a lot of. So we've done quite a bit of that, and then we've evolved into more build on your lots to where, say if you and your family, they own a lot, whether that be downtown in Houston or Meyerland, Bel Air, or even acreage out in the county somewhere.
How has, as a builder, how has rates impacted the home building process? I mean, obviously, it's probably had an impact. From your perspective on that end, tell me a little bit about how maybe that's impacted your business.
I think rates have had a big impact, and I think the big builders are really seeing that. People that we work with on our level, it's having the impact. I think what may be happening right now, we're seeing is more remodels coming through the door now. So we've been entertaining a few of those to where people may stay in their home a little bit longer or something like that, just because the rates but we also have some people that are kind of building because the process is a year-long process, sometimes even more. So they're understanding that the rates may change, or they'll go ahead and maybe refi or something later. I know a lot of big builders in our industry, it's impacted negatively, and they're having to do other things to keep business up, if you will.
So your background is building,
Yes.
right? You obviously want to get to what made you take the plunge and to start Zander. But give me a little bit of background on you and kind of the journey that you took and got you to that point to where you said, all right, there's something to this, and I want to pursue this.
So I'm from Ohio, so a lot of people down here in Houston are transplants, and so I've been down here for almost 20 years now, right? But my dad was in home building when I was a kid. A lot of my family was in the industry, whether it be some form or fashion, whatever that may be. But when I grew up, if I wanted some extra money or to go hang out, I'd go with Dad on a job site. Sometimes it'd be cleaning up, got a little bit older, framing stuff, or even we do up in Ohio, we'd frame up basements and things of that nature, to where he's building small communities and things of that nature. And upon graduating college, had a degree in psychology, and
Which obviously leads you to home building.
Yeah, it does.
Clear path there.
I thought I would be coaching, and I actually had an opportunity out of college at some time. Different story, but needed a job, and at that time, building was going really good. That was in '04, something like that, and just got into building right there. I kind of already was a little bit of experience with it. As most college grads, they the degree is meaningful to some extent, but you need some experience. And I had a little bit of experience there, so started out as an assistant supervisor, and from there I've progressed with a couple national builders here in Houston and small boutique builders, and then obviously been working for ourselves for 13, 14, 15 years now, I guess.
What made you finally decide that I'm going to put my stake in the ground and do my own thing?
Really kind of coming out of that first housing downturn, right? So worked for national builders and was with a small boutique builder at the moment, and then got let go from there. And I was working with a cabinet company, and I was doing little works odd and end jobs or a build here or there, just really kind of extra jobs, if you will, to try and put money away. And from there, it was kind of on the uptick of the market, but we were doing well. We were enjoying it, having success and different things. And I just decided, you know what, if I'm going to do this, I need to give it a shot, right? And dive all the way in. That's what I did.
Now, tell me a little bit about the name. I know, for a little bit of backstory, how Justin and I got introduced, or actually I barged into Justin's office one day. I'm a big fan of Justin on LinkedIn. If you don't follow Justin and Zander Homes on LinkedIn, he has some great stuff. He absolutely encroaches on my territory as a financial advisor, because a lot of your stuff is monetary principles and good money fundamentals and a lot of that stuff. So it was very attractive to me. And so, I had kind of earmarked Justin that said, hey, I want to have an opportunity to visit with this guy to be a guest on the podcast. And I printed his post and I stuck it in my pocket. And I was meeting a client later that afternoon. And I had no idea, as I was going to meet the client in the same building, I told you a little bit of this before, I saw in the building that I was at to meet another client, Zander Homes. So once I saw that, I said, okay, I'm supposed to talk to this guy. So I barged in and I said, look, I don't have a lot of time to talk to you right now, but I just wanted to tell you I love your LinkedIn posts. So I really appreciate that, your insight. And again, if you don't follow Justin, please do. But give me a little bit of background on, I know you like to do a lot of your research and homework into financial principles. Tell me how you apply a lot of that stuff maybe to yourself in your business to help you make better decisions.
I think some of it is with the, COVID, right? So around COVID, everybody had a little bit more time. Everybody's on the internet a little bit more, right? Being a small business owner, my background wasn't in finance, obviously, like I said. So played sports in college, psychology, art minor. So, that makes sense.
It's very useful today.
And so, but obviously trying to figure it out for myself, and then taxes, and you're watching what's going on, whether it be our local government and spending and nationally and all over the world. And so I just drew an interest, right? And so from there, I kind of start common sense basis, right? So we're a consumer-driven market, right? And that's how we all make a living, and I understand that. But, with debt and income is really kind of where we start, trying to limit your debt and raise up your income. And that's essentially how I started Zander Homes, just trying to do the exact same thing, right? Trying to just had Alexander, our firstborn, and trying to get rid of some debt and bring in more income, right? Because I know this is going to get expensive.
Kids will do that too.
Diapers are expensive.
Even more so today. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You mentioned you've been in business for about 20 years.
Yeah.
So in that 20 years, looking back, you've been through quite a bit. You've been to the great financial crisis. Yeah. You've been through the period of COVID. You've been through the after period when everything happened very quickly. Then you were at the period after that where supplies and everything that you've had to purchase to build homes was incredibly expensive. Looking back, is there a challenge throughout that process, and something that you kind of look back on and say, I would have done something differently, or this is the most challenging period in Zander Homes' history?
It's funny. I think I would have taken a little bit more risk, right? So when COVID happened, the world came to a stop, and builders let people go at that time. Other businesses let people go. No one really knew what was happening, right? And so being fiscally sound, we were in a good spot, and we didn't have much debt, and we were kind of ready for whatever came. But then we didn't realize how fast all this would start, right? With the money printing, and the interest rates are low, and people are building, and we were a lot of work from home. People are building, we're there and expanding, things of that nature. So I think at that moment, I was kind of prepared for the worst, and the worst didn't really come. The opposite happened with the M2 money supply and the printing, to where people just start building and doing things and buying and enjoying. And looking back, some of it was really good, and some of it was a little frivolous. But I think I could have taken a little bit more risk at that time. But at the same time too, you spoke about no one knew, and then with lumber that went up. So I know a lot of builders in our local market who we call an industry practice build, meaning that they built quite a few homes, but they didn't make no money on it, and some of them took some losses on it. And we've done that before, and that's when you're building for a year cycle, there's such a long turnaround, and you build and sell this home for $500,000, and then next thing you know, you look and you're 15, 20 grand in the hole. That that kind of hurts.
Absolutely.
And so, I like to take a little bit more risk, but at the same time too, it's easy to sit here and say I would have taken that risk, but not these 3 risks.
Yeah, you can't. Looking back, hindsight's always 20/20. You can't get rid of the good stuff or get rid of the bad stuff and keep all the good stuff.
Absolutely.
If there's someone out there who's considering getting into building, right, and they're listening to this, what would you tell them, maybe as a piece of advice, maybe that applied to any business? What would you tell them to maybe that you would have wanted to tell yourself 20 years ago? Is there anything that comes to mind?
I got good advice. I don't know if it was from my dad or whoever, if I've kind of put it together later on, but if you're wanting to do something, right, whether it be build a home, have a rental, or start a business, or that side business, or whatever it is, I would say do it and start with one. And what I mean by that is, I remember Gabby and I were driving over to the, the Houston, not the fair, but the rodeo. We're on one of the buses, we're going down to the rodeo, and at that time I kind of made up my mind we're going to buy some land, and we're driving by the statues on 45, right? Okay. And I seen some building going up, and so the next week I drove over there, and that's where I found our first lot. But I came to the conclusion that if I do one home, it's one more than I've ever done. And when I do that one home, then I can decide, was that one home worth it? And that's kind of where we started. We started with the one. And I would tell people to start with one.
Just start.
Yeah.
Yeah, just start.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it, Justin. I want to encourage again everybody to follow Justin Henry at Zander Homes. We're in a beautiful design center where Justin has a lot of stuff that you can come take a look at. I appreciate you spending time with me.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, and let's stay in touch, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity to do it again soon.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Justin.
Thanks.